Ben Johnson was born December 30th, 1961, in Falmouth, Jamaica. He came to Canada in 1976 at the age of 14. Johnson received his training from an early age from Charlie Francis, who was also a part of the Canadian team for the 1972 Olympics. He was a 100-meter race champion. Ben Johnson was a Canadian sprinter who set world records for the 100-meter race during the World Championships in Athletics in 1987 and the Summer Olympics in 1988.
Ben Johnson set world records for the 100-meter race during the World Championships in Athletics in 1987 and the Summer Olympics in 1988. The 1988 Summer Olympics, in relation to the 100-meter race, is now best known as a moment that went down in history. Many of the athletes that partook in the 100-meter race had been doping, including Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson was an amazing athlete. In 1985, he was given the Norton Crowe Award for Male Athlete of the Year. He was also awarded the Lou Marsh Trophy as Canada's top athlete. Ben Johnson has an estimated net worth of $2 million. Sadly, it quickly all came crashing down.
September 24th, 1988 was the most exciting event of the Summer Olympics, and everyone was focused on the 100-meter race to see if Johnson would beat Lewis, and in fact, he did. Ben Johnson won gold with a world record time of 9.79 seconds. Johnson was titled an International Sporting Superstar.
After Ben Johnson's big win, the Olympic Doping Control Center found stanzola within his blood and urine, which led him to be stripped of his gold medal and world record 2 days after winning. It quickly became the most shocking event in Olympic history.
For being caught doping, Johnson had a mandatory 2-year suspension. During that time, he counseled young people with drug addictions and was a public speaker who spoke against the use of drugs.
Ben returned to racing in 1991 as he declared himself clean. He performed well below what he did in the past, but he was able to post a time that was fast enough to allow him to compete in the Olympics again. In February of 1993, Johnson again tested positive in a drug test as he was above the level of allowed testosterone. Ben Johnson was then banned by the IAAF from competitions for life. Ben Johnson has been pretty quiet since he was banned from competitions in 1993, but in his most recent interview, which took place in 2013, when asked what he would change if he could go back 25 years, Johnson said there was no point in trying to live in the past, but then, quote, "But I still believe I could have won the Olympic Games without any drugs back then," end quote.